Hello Superset Maniacs and welcome back to my channel. Today we're continuing our Building the Perfect Bodybuilding Physique series, and in this episode we're gonna take care of the rear lat spread. This was by far the hardest and most difficult video on the series so far. I didn't know how to do this at first, what body parts to choose and from whom. I had several bodybuilders in my mind, but when I tried to merge the body parts, it just didn't look right. Then I narrowed the list down to the three best lat spread posers of all time: Dorian Yates, Ronnie Coleman, and Phil Heath. But yet again, when I tried to merge the different body parts from them, it just didn't look right at all. After more investigation, I decided to go on with these three, but with these other three peaks, all three of them being from an angle, however fitting much better together, as you guys will see by the end of this video. So we're gonna build the perfect rear lat spread pose using only body parts from Dorian Yates, Ronnie Coleman and Phil Heath from these three respective shots, and as you'll see, we don't need nothing more. We have all we need right here. We're going to use 8 different body parts from Dorian, Ron and Phil in this video, meaning we're gonna have 8 different steps for building the perfect rear lat spread pose. And we start with step number 1, the upper back, that includes the upper traps and the shoulders. Looking at these three specimens, all three of them look great at this department, with Dorian looking the hardest, Ronnie the biggest and Phil the most 3D, if we can say that. Anyway, in my opinion, Ronnie's upper back is the most impressive, so he's my pick for this first step. Boom! Ah, and by the way, I noticed in the comment section that some of you are annoyed by my boom. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to drop the boom or not. Step number 2, lats. For the lats we have an obvious one, it's Dorian Yates of course. However, Phil Heath looks really good as well, but his lats are nowhere near as wide as Dorian's, so Dorian Yates is the winner. Boom! Step number 3, lower back, and more specifically the lower half of the back. It's pretty obvious that Phil Heath is the winner at this department. As impressive as both Dorian Yates and Ronnie Coleman would look, Phil Heath just takes them to school when it comes to the lower traps department. Let's see. Boom! We've just built the perfect back using 3 different body parts from Dorian, Ronnie and Phil, and I love the final result. What do you guys think? Step number 4, the arms. This step includes the forearms as well, and probably most of you would think Phil Heath. However, when looking at these shots, we can notice that from the angle of this pose, Phil's incredible forearms are not as dominant. And since we're counting the arms as a whole, including buys and tries, I think Ronnie Coleman looks the best here. Phil can be an option for sure, but arms are not that important in this pose after all, so let's move on. Boom! I think Ronnie's arms fit perfectly here. We finished with the upper body. What do you guys think of our hybrid so far? Let's continue with the lower body now, and step number 5 is the glutes. Once again, there is an obvious option when it comes to the glutes. It has to be Ronnie, even though Phil Heath can be counted as well as he looks here. But when you think about glutes in general, and I know this doesn't sound good at all, but bear with me guys. So when the best glutes of all time are in the conversation, I don't think too many of you would think of Phil Heath, but rather of Ronnie. Anyway, Ronnie is my pick, so boom. Step number 6, hamstrings. This one is between Ronnie and Phil again, but I always thought Phil is the best of all time when it comes to this department, and I believe these peaks show the same thing. So Phil's got the hams. Boom! Step number 7, calves. And if we ignored Dorian Yates when it came to glutes and hams, we can't ignore him anymore when it comes to the calves. And these peaks don't make him justice, as both Ronnie's and Phil's shots are taken from a lower point than Dorian's, making the lower body overall bigger. Dorian's calves would be much more dominant than they look in these peaks. Dorian is the winner when it comes to this department, so boom! We have one more step, the last one, for many of you being the favorite one, and it's the head. There's not too much we can do for the head from the back to make this more entertaining, so I'm gonna simply choose the best head from these three again. I'm sorry for all the boldies out there, but I'm gonna go with Dorian Yates for the simple fact that he has hair on his head, so boom! Our rear lat spread hybrid is complete. What do you guys think? Let's sum it up. We began with Ronnie Coleman's upper back, and then continued with Dorian's lats and finished the back with Phil's lower half. We also added Ronnie's guns, and then downstairs we went with Ronnie's glutes, Phil's hamstrings, keeping Ronnie's quad sweeps I forgot to mention earlier, and finished with Dorian's calves obviously. I also chose Dorian's head for the simple fact that he has hair. I apologize again from all the bald heads watching this. What do you guys think about this video? Do you agree with my approach of only using these three? Remember that this was by far the hardest video to edit in this series, so also remember to smash the likes button. I was a little bit disappointed, I have to tell you, that my last video did not reach the required 1500 likes, but I did this video anyway. The likes are only to encourage you guys, to help me expose my channel more. You know, I'll upload the next episode regardless. That being said, let's get 1500 likes for this video to unlock the side triceps episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, thank you guys and see you next time.